and freedom. Up next, we got another amazing woman, Yvonne De Carlo. Yvonne De Carlo wasn't just Hollywood's sultry screen siren, she was its most adventurous romantic, earning the tabloid nickname Hollywood's #1 Bachelor Girl. From a decade-long marriage to a dashing stuntman to being the first big love of director Billy Wilder, a public but secretive affair with Howard Hughes, and whirlwind engagements to leading men and real-life royalty, De Carlo's heart charted its own blockbuster saga. Let's peel back the curtain on the forbidden romances of this golden age icon. The stuntman husband, Robert Drew Morgan, 1941 to 1951. In 1941, fresh from bit parts at Paramount, 19-year-old Yvonne De Carlo wed stuntman Robert Drew Morgan, a legitimate Hollywood insider whose daring double duty on set ignited her early career. Morgan, known for doubling Clark Gable and leading men in action sequences, met De Carlo during a location shoot on Salome, where she danced, 1945. Their courtship was a perfect backstage romance. He taught her horseback riding and firearm safety. She taught him poise and charm. By 1945, De Carlo had risen to co-star status in Universal noirs like Criss Cross, yet Morgan remained her steadfast confidant. Despite mutual devotion, the marriage succumbed to the era's pressures. De Carlo's skyrocketing film obligations, often overseas, and Morgan's grueling stunt schedule created long separations. Studio publicity glossed over tension, but insiders noted De Carlo's yearning for emotional reciprocity she couldn't find in the perilous stunt world. In 1951, after 10 years together, they quietly divorced. Morgan relinquished any claim to De Carlo's burgeoning earnings, and she granted him lifetime access to her Beverly Hills cottage as a parting gift. Their split marked De Carlo's first taste of Hollywood heartbreak and prefaced a decade of equally dramatic liaisons. First, Love's Behind the Lens, Billy Wilder and Howard Hughes, 1943 to 1946. While still married, De Carlo fell for two of Hollywood's most powerful men. In 1943, she met director Billy Wilder on the Salome set. Captivated by his quick wit and European intellect, she later called him the first big love of my life. Their affair blossomed in shadowed studio backlots, where Wilder penned notes on her performances, and she admired his avant-garde scripts. Though never official, Wilder was separated but not divorced. Their bond ended when he returned to Europe in 1945. That same year, De Carlo met billionaire aviator producer Howard Hughes at a Vancouver celebration in her honor. Hughes, enthralled by her Salome performance, flew secretly from Los Angeles. They spent clandestine evenings dining on yacht decks and discussing film projects he envisioned for her. De Carlo, yearning for commitment, urged Hughes to propose. He refused. By late 1946, Hughes withdrew, leaving De Carlo with heartbreak and an indelible lesson on power's fragility in love. She later wrote that Hughes was one of the most important loves of her life. These early affairs taught De Carlo that passion and power rarely coexist without cost. The Bachelor Girl era, Burt Lancaster, Robert Stack, and European royalty, 1946 to 1949. Freed from marital ties and bruised by powerful romances, De Carlo entered Hollywood's #1 Bachelor Girl phase. Post-Hughes, she was linked to co-stars Burt Lancaster, Criss Cross, 1949, and Robert Stack, Brute Force, 1947. On the Brute Force set, Stack admired her resilience. They shared late-night poker and suppers at Musso and Frank's. Lancaster, by contrast, courted her during crisscross rehearsals, sending orchids and serenading her with romantic ballads. De Carlo recalled their electric chemistry in cast parties. In April 1947, emboldened by these flings, she announced an engagement to fellow contract player Howard Duff, proclaiming she was ready to settle down. Duff, an introspective actor with a rising noir career, courted her with private script readings and candlelit dinners at the Palladium. Yet, plagued by his alcoholism and her own reluctance, they quietly parted by year's end. That same year, De Carlo was romantically linked to Prince Abdul Reza Pahlavi of Iran. Their European tour included stops in Paris and Tehran, blending Hollywood glamour with royal protocol. Though no formal engagement ensued, De Carlo cherished the whirlwind romance that whisked her beyond Tinseltown's horizon. This era of high-profile flings cemented her reputation as Hollywood's most desirable and unpredictable Bachelor Girl. The engagement carousel Jock Mahoney, Cornell Lucas, and Robert Urquhart, 1950 to 1954. In the early 1950s, De Carlo's love life spun into an engagement carousel. She fell for stuntman Jock Mahoney on The Gal Who Took the West, 1949, their on-screen camaraderie sparking off-screen devotion. Engaged briefly in 1950, their plans ended when Mahoney's burgeoning career pulled him toward new projects, and De Carlo discovered she'd lost their expected child to a medical crisis, but strove to protect his vulnerable ego. Heartbroken, she called off the engagement. By 1953, De Carlo had new suitors. Photographer Cornell Lucas invited her to London fashion shoots. They grew close over late-night gallery walks and shared appreciation for European art. In early 1954, she announced engagement to Scottish actor Robert Urquhart, her happy ever-after co-star pledging, "I'm ready for marriage." Urquhart, charmed by her wit, planned an intimate Edinburgh wedding. Yet De Carlo, sensing another mismatch, dissolved the betrothal after studio demands, and her desire for autonomy collided with his theatrical commitments. After this carousel of near weddings, De Carlo stepped back from romance to focus on her Hollywood comeback, starring in The 10 Commandments, 1956. She never married again, embracing single life with grace and leaving behind a legacy of passionate, high-stakes romances that defined her on- and off-screen legend. Yvonne De Carlo's romantic saga, beginning with a decade-long marriage to stuntman Robert Drew Morgan, through passionate but ill-fated entanglements with Billy Wilder and Howard Hughes, a series of high-profile flings with Burt Lancaster, Robert Stack, and real-life royalty, and a carousel of broken engagements, reflects a woman who loved fiercely on her own terms. Her emotional resilience turned each heartbreak into on-screen magnetism, whether as Salome or Sephora in The 10 Commandments. De Carlo never wed again after 1954, choosing autonomy and artistry over security. In a Hollywood often ruled by studio mandates, her personal life blazed a trail of authenticity, passion, and unyielding independence, securing her place as Golden Age cinema's most unforgettable Bachelor Girl.